What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So, this is my prediction. President Biden will step down and not continue to run, and he'll probably do it by Friday. And I'm going to explain to you why I think that is. There was a big sign yesterday that he's probably going to go ahead and step aside. So, I want to talk first about the headlines, okay? And I'm going to get right to this. I'm not going to waste any time. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that little bell notification, and let's get into this. So you have lawmakers right now that have been coming out. We saw Adam Schiff just come out and say that this was yesterday. He said that he wants President Biden to step down. Now, when you start having a lot of lawmakers, a lot of Democrats that are saying this, President Biden really has no choice. Okay. Now, if you guys didn't know, President Biden did test positive for COVID, and so he is going to be headed I think he's going to Delaware first, and then he will rest up there. So he's not going to be able to be out campaigning for at least, 5 days at least. And so you did have some articles here, and I'm just reading the headlines of these articles. And it says here, Jeffrey Schumer privately warned Biden he could imperil Democrats. Okay, so this is a big concern. Democrats that are running for Congress are really concerned that Biden is going to bring down everyone on the ticket. And so we could see the Senate go to Republicans. We could see the House maintain, the Republicans maintain the House. And so this is a big fear. And so that's why you have some of these lawmakers, and Jeffries and Schumer, and we're talking about the leaders in both chambers saying, look, we don't know about this. We don't know about it. They haven't officially asked him to step down, but they have grave concern, right? Bloomberg writes here, Biden's COVID case delivers a last blow to hard luck campaign. Okay, so with COVID, now they're saying, well, this could mean that he might step down because of COVID. Now, I think that could be true. This could be a transition, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. And I just talked about here, let's see, the New York Times says Schiff calls on Biden to drop out of presidential race. And then we have Schumer Pelosi ramp up pressure on Biden over 2024 election bid, and that is coming from Al Jazeera. And we have BBC saying Biden under new pressure from top Democrats as COVID halts campaign. And this is not what he needed, right? He needs to be out there. We saw the situation that happened, the attempted assassination. That was one thing that kind of slowed both campaigns down, because now they're not going to have these big rallies anymore. And then on top of that, when it comes, or I should say, they're not going to have the big outdoor rallies. But now, on top of that, he has COVID, so he can't be around people for at least, and I don't even know is it 5 days now? I don't even know what the quarantine state is at this point. And then Forbes here says Biden is being more receptive to concerns about him staying on ballot, reports say. Okay, and I believe CNN is the one that originally brought this information out. And so now he's receptive. And so if he's receptive, he's really thinking about this. Okay, he's thinking about this situation, and he's hearing from top Democrats that are asking him to step down and showing their concern by saying, look, this is really going to hurt us. And the polls aren't in his favor. So he can't just go to the polls and say, well, look, I'm leading here, I'm leading there. When you're looking at the average of polls, and I usually use the Real Clear Politics poll, he's down. He's down nationally, as well as when you look at the swing states. I don't know if he's ahead in any of the swing states when it comes to the averaging all the polls. So one poll might show him ahead, but it's not ahead by much. It might be 1% or 2%, and then all the other polls show him down by 2% or 3%. And then when you average them out, Trump is still ahead in all the swing states. So you have to win some of these swing states in order to win. And so this is what I want to show you. And I'm going to show you this clip, and I'll set it up right now. This is the reason why I don't think he's going to run. Okay. Now, I want to say when it comes to campaigns, and I've worked in a few campaigns. I actually was a campaign manager in one campaign. We didn't win, but I was still there. I learned a lot just from that experience. But one thing I know is optics is everything. And I was shocked when I watched this clip. Now, understand, he is on his way back to Delaware. We know that he has COVID. So we know that he's going to be weak. We understand that. However, optics are everything. And let me just show you this video clip here, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about it. Okay, so like I said, optics are everything. I don't see his campaign at this point allowing press to be there while he's getting on Air Force One. I just don't see it if he was going to stay in the race. Obviously, he looked weak there, and we understand. You have COVID. Some people have had COVID. Thank God I never had it, but it does make people weak. And we saw former President Trump, when he had COVID, he looked very weak. And so I don't think they would have allowed the press to be there to record this. And the campaign could have easily said that he has COVID. We want to make sure there's, social distancing. They could have said all of that and had this, they could have changed this whole situation so it's not that way. The press could have still been there. They might have been, far further away, which would have made a difference. As well as, you see how close they are. They're able to zoom their cameras in, and trust me, they're not too far away. Even though they're zooming the cameras in, they're not too far away, because you'd see, if they're zooming way in, you're going to see a lot of shake on that camera. Okay, I happen to know because I shoot a lot of video and take pictures and all that. So they're not that far away. And so the campaign allowed them to be relatively close to watch him walk onto Air Force One, and you saw he kind of, paused a little bit. First couple steps he paused a little bit, took a few more steps, then paused a little bit more, then came up to the top, and was very, very slow to move. So I think this is a way for the campaign and way for President Biden to say, look, it was a hard fight, but I'm at a point right now where I think I should hand the baton to someone else. And now we don't know who that's going to be. It could be VP Harris. It could be someone else. But we'll have to see. Once he makes this decision, which I think he's going to make the decision, he's getting. You have these leaders of the Democratic Party that are asking him, pretty much begging him, you need to step aside. So I don't think he has really a choice at this point. And with this, this is kind of This is a situation where you have COVID. Now you can't be around people for however many days. And so I just think by the campaign allowing the press to be so close, they're already saying this. Look, this is it, okay? Republicans will definitely use this. They're going to use this in the campaign, campaign ads and all of that stuff. And in a lot of cases, they won't even say that this was a time when he had COVID. They'll just use the footage. And when you see the footage, you see how weak he is and how, he could barely get up the steps. And so I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen next. I just wanted to bring this information to you, breaking news. This was just, he was just tested positive yesterday, and I'm bringing it out to you guys early this morning. And we'll probably, like I said, Friday is a good news dump day, right? Friday, if you have something really big you want to dump that news on Friday before the weekend, because there's less you'll get less press. And so anyway, I think Friday will probably be that day where he says he's going to hand off the torch. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that he will step aside? Do you think that he will stay in the race? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.